Welcome. This is the Rubin Blakey Commentary Box podcast. We're loud and clear on Welsh football. I'm the former BBC Wales football correspondent, Rob Phillips, and this is my partner, Nathan Blake, former Wales international and Premier League player. Welcome to episode 10.
It's gone quick, innit?
Really has.
You notice anything in the background, people? Deco.
Oh, yeah, the deco's definitely improved since our first time there.
There's a nice Welsh
for those
shirt,
watching on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, there's a brilliant Welsh shirt just above my head, and I'm hoping that the picture frame will last so that it doesn't fall on it.
Well, I'm hoping that the picture of the shirt improves the look that's in front of it.
Well, I've got to say as well, I look back at your playing figures, Nathan Blake.
Oh, why would you do that?
And to see whether you've got 10 seasons, double figures.
10 seasons,
10
double
seasons
figures?
of double figures.
As a striker?
Yeah.
Didn't play 10 seasons as a striker.
I think you did 8 seasons where you reached 10 goals or more.
That's probably where I played striker for 8 seasons.
Are you happy with that?
It's by the by to me. I quite... Looking back now, I quite enjoyed playing centre-half. Len Ashes was right.
Yeah, if you missed it on a previous podcast, Nathan Blake admitted he actually went on strike to avoid playing centre-half.
It was too many positions. I played too many
Cardiff
positions,
City.
I think.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed them.
Good.
Well, the only one I didn't enjoy was centre-half, but left back, right back, centre-mid, yeah, didn't mind it.
Well, we're enjoying the podcast. We are speaking to you from the University of South Wales Atrium campus, and we're brought to you with the valid support of the journalism and media courses. And of course, tell your friends. We want to grow this podcast. We're available on all social media outlets, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, Threads. Watch us on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify. Now, coming up, we're going to mull over the Wales squad. We'll reflect on not a bad night for Welsh clubs. This is being recorded on Wednesday with Swansea moving to the brink of the playoffs. Wrexham picking up a point on the road. Not so good for Cardiff, who stumbled again at home. And, of course, we'll have to look at Newport County's woes with the Supporters Trust having tried to calm nerves with a statement about their club's plight. But the Wales squad to take on England next Thursday. And that, of course, that huge qualifier against Belgium the following Monday. And the big headline was that Aaron Ramsey returns to the squad for the first time since his move to Puma's UNAM in Mexico. Are you surprised, Nathan Blake?
Not really. Part of me did start to wonder whether he was going to be brought back into the squad, but... let's be fair, he can still do a job, and is one of his attributes was always he's been able to run. I call him like a John Deere. Right? He's always been able to run at a good tempo for such a long time, which he would wear defences and other midfielders down. And I think he probably could still do that heart-wise, but I'll tell you, like, things start to slow down and break and hurt. So I think he could be used definitely in that sort of number 6 sort of role, especially next to a number 6 then, alongside an Ethan Ampadu, or even in a bit higher, just as a playmaker. But nice to see him back.
It was interesting. Craig Bellamy said we have legs in and around him that could really benefit from this type of profile. He said, I've seen a player who's fit, has a lot to offer, and of course he said, I massively admire him. And my point is, because there have been some fans who've taken against this selection, 86 caps, 20-odd goals for his country.
Yeah.
He is one of the great Wales players as far as I'm concerned. Always gets in an all-time Wales side. Do you see this as long-term, though? Do you see him get into... if Wales get there, does he get to the World Cup?
He's not going to be long-term because of his age. Long-term, I would say, is 10 years. What are we now, 2025, World Cup next year? Yeah, without a doubt, as long as he stays free from any sort of major injuries. I think, yeah. I think Craig has proven that he'll be, part and parcel of his plans, because if he's had the opportunity to sort of start going forward without him. But, I say, when you're a great player, I don't think there's many managers who, sign you off to the sort of the old knackers yard, if you like,
And is there just benefit anyway in having that experience around? A bit like when Joe Allen was sort of recalled by Craig.
Well, it was the same when Joe, Bellas and Aaron, they've all been together at the twilight of their career. Wayne Hennessy, another one, and Aaron has just managed to last a bit longer than they have. So I don't think you can... It's easy to say, move on and do this and do that. But, when you've been to like top clubs and played in top level games, I don't think you can't sniff at that. You can't just sort of, by the by, you can't, there's not an equivalent then in the Welsh squad, is there?
No, there isn't. No, I agree. I'm a huge fan of Aaron Ramsey. It's one selection I would never quibble over. I did wonder about whether Wales were trying to move away from a player of his style, given that, if you say that Kiefer Moore's going to start, Harry Wilson, David Brooks, no Dan James, we don't think. We're waiting for confirmation when we're recording this. But the thought is that he may be out for a few weeks now. There are reports of an injury up in Leeds. Not as serious as we first thought, but maybe he's out with an injury. So Sorba Thomas is back in the squad. But it's clear that Craig Bellamy wouldn't just pick someone to be in the dressing room, would he?
No. I think it's more than that. I think, like I said, it's invaluable. He's not just been. There's like, I would say there was Joe, Aaron, and of course Superman, who were the three players who could say they'd been in sort of top level games, Champions League, etc. And when you've got that level of experience, and you're still you don't stop being a great player. You're still a great player. So it just makes sense. The only question mark over Aaron in the last 3 years has been fitness.
Yeah.
But if he's fit, he'll be involved. And there'll come a time where, either Craig will stop selecting him, or whoever the manager stop selecting him, or Aaron will announce his retirement from international football to prolong his career a bit more. So, he's picked up and gone to the other side of the world to prolong his career and get to a World Cup, hopefully, touch wood. So, he's doing the right thing for me, Aaron, yeah.
Yeah, he also mentioned that Ethan Ampadu is importantly back in the squad. Joe Rodon, who scored for Leeds last weekend, Jay De Silva, and Nathan Broadhead, more of him later. They definitely strengthen things, don't they?
Yeah, and they're all playing at either Championship or Premier League level, which is huge. We seem to have these sort of peaks and troughs where players are all in, playing for their clubs and doing really well, and then other times there's like 6 or 7 of them being sat down, not out, not in the team, what have you. So I think we've seen the development and growth of people like Nico Williams and, Brooksy and people like that, Brennan Johnson, getting into first teams and developing and playing top level football. So long may it continue, mate.
Absolutely. Interestingly, though, we seem to say this
where you going
quite often lately, that the one player who has attracted a lot of attention not in the squad.
Don't tell me. Rubin Colwill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Okay. Okay, Dad. Ask me away. Ask away.
Would Rubin Colwill be right in thinking, what do I have to do to get back in the Wales squad?
Um,
Bellamy wanted consistency. He's having his most consistent season so far. We've talked about this before. League One, it doesn't matter because Capaccio and Lawler are both in the... And Rubin's brother Joel Colwill is back in the squad.
Yeah.
Are all retained in the squad, sorry. I said.
It does matter. It does, because Rubin's in a different position. Rubin's in the specialist position. Rubin's in the position Pelé, Diego Maradona, Johan Cruyff, he's in that position. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Aaron Ramsey has played it for Wales. He's in that position where you're the key that unlocks everything. And I think it matters because he's I'm not making excuses for Bellas. I know there'll be people out there going, Blakes, come on, man. But I'd say, for me, okay, so this is how Rubin, in my opinion, this is my humble opinion, right? It's how Rubin would get into the Welsh team, where I don't think Craig could deny it then, right? He wins the league with Cardiff and he scores maybe 10 goals. He's got a ridiculous assist rate. Then goes into the championship and does exactly the same thing, because I think there's a sort of tendency with everything to be quicker these days. We spoke about that downstairs on a different topic, with everything to be quicker. So then he goes and he tears up the championship. And then someone from the Premier League either picks him up or he goes into the Premier League with Cardiff. I think it becomes undeniable then, because he's known as Cardiff's playmaker, main man, right? He's known now, but he's you can't aim the argument at certain players. Like we've had the discussion about Paul Mullen being in the Welsh team when he was in the National League. Like, it's crazy. Do you know what I mean? So, yes, it's 2 leagues up, but I still think that, I'd have Rubin in the squad personally, but Craig sees something else, right? Or Craig doesn't see something that other people see, right? We've all got different opinions. That's why we love the game. So for me, Rubin has got to do things that undeniably make him the main man.
So he could be a year away from getting back in the squad.
I mean, don't hang on my words. It could be, I think you can't be in the pinnacle position in League One. You've got to be in that pinnacle position, at least in the Championship, and then tear it up. So if I said to you, at the moment, I've seen Cardiff City plenty of times this season, and he's been brilliant as like the back four, the youngsters and everything. They've been brilliant. Yeah, they had a slip up last night, but they've been nothing short of brilliant. But I still say, my question is still, would Rubin be able to do what he's doing that in the Championship? Because the Championship is a different beast, right? We watched it. We see Wrexham. We see quality teams like Norwich struggling, Sheffield Wednesday. I know it's like Sheffield United. It's not. You don't just go in there. You've got to be a top player to go in there, tear her up, and get yourself out of there, transferred to the Premier League. That's just the way it is. Whether you transfer with the club or a Premier League club that comes and buys you. But I don't think, if you're looking at international level, which is above that again, to take a player who's tearing up League One and ask him to tear up internationally against Belgium.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate on why maybe Craig isn't along the lines of a lot of Cardiff fans, because it'll be Cardiff fans mainly pushing because they're having a really good season.
Well,
but
actually, no, I'm looking at social media, and I don't judge things by social media, but they do help create an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people who say, well, there are club rivalries on social media, clearly.
Yeah.
And it's, well, you're getting carried away because he's in League One. Remember where you are.
Yeah, I understand
there's that. There are others who say, well, hang on.
What's he got to do?
What's he got to do? Yeah.
He's got to do what he's doing in the Championship and above.
So he's got no... do you see what I'm asking?
Yeah, I do.
If you take your words, that means...
but it's you're not in a normal position. Like I said,
right.
the players I mentioned, like Messi, Maradona's, they're like number 10s. if you play that position, it's a specialist position. Why do you think all kids and fathers and mothers will know this up and down the land? When you say to kids, oh, what position you go? They're number 10. Right? Because it's been passed down. The number 10, the number and the position is the main man.
Bit like the number 10 rugby position
It
in
is,
Wales.
right.
Whereas in New Zealand, it's number 7
Right,
is the one
right.
they look
it's
at.
It's what makes the game here.
Yeah.
Right? So, for me, I understand the angst of him not being in there, and I understand why he's not in there. I can understand both sides. But at the end of the day, the only person can change it is Rubin.
Well, no, it's Craig Bellamy.
No. I think, listen, if I look at a player, and I'm not saying this is the case, but I look at a player and I don't fancy him, and you say, but he's great, and I say, oh, I'm just not having it. You know, he's got to go something to change my mind, isn't he?
He has.
So you're in the pinnacle position. You've chosen that position to play. The manager puts you in that position. He's made you captain, sort of vice captain. You're playing with a lot more responsibility. You're playing better than you've ever played. You're scoring goals. You're creating goals. But his downfall is he's in League One. Now, Craig might say, well, it's only 6 months on. Why didn't he do it last year in the Championship?
Well, maybe it was circumstances. Maybe the team around him. It was interesting that Craig said Aaron Ramsey's back. He's got legs around him now.
Yeah.
So do you need legs to get Aaron Ramsey back in the team? Need legs around him to get him back in the team?
Yeah, but Aaron's got to pass that.
I'm not comparing the two players.
There you go. You kind of are.
Nobody is a bigger fan of Aaron Ramsey than myself.
Whether you're a fan or not, but you're
He's
using it as a comparison. You know, I think it's fair to say Rubin Colwill is not going to be an Aaron Ramsey.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not what you say. You want him to be. I always say I want Rubin Colwill to be Rubin Colwill.
Yeah.
Right? I want us to be speaking in 10 years' time, if you're still here. I want us to be speaking in 10 years' time. Saying,
what do you mean if I'm still here?
It took you a while. I want us to be saying...
Well, it's getting old. I
want us to be saying, well, we've watched the development of Rubin. Remember, we were speaking of... And there'll be hopefully a few new kids on the block where we're saying, well, we've seen it with Rubin Colwill. You know, football is sometimes, it's just a game of opinions. And, you know, there's no good getting angry because my opinion, whether I'm a coach, a fan, a podcaster, because my opinion's not being adhered to. That's just life. It's for the player to do it and consistently do it.
Okay, well, we spent more time on him than the
We always do.
We
always do.
Last thing.
I'd have him in, though, personally.
Yeah. After all that.
Yeah, I would, because that's my opinion. I think, you know, I want to... I look at Rubin and I always go, the one thing he doesn't have is, for his size and stature, physicality. But then you've got to say, well, you know, he's just not built that way. His brother is a totally different player to him, right?
Is, yeah.
And that's why I think his brother will get in the Welsh squad before him, because his brother can play probably 4 different positions. Rubin can only play 1.
Yeah.
So he has to become great at it.
The other interesting thing, I was watching Craig Bellamy's press comments. I mean, it's always good to listen to, you have to say.
Yeah.
He's so passionate. And the one thing he's brought to the Wales setup is that there's no thought of playing England and being second best or even feeling some sort of inferiority, because he wants to take on the best. And he says, if I'm going to be a better coach, I've got to take on the best. And in England's case, it's a Champions League manager of some stature in Thomas Tuchel. He wants that. But then there's the opposite to that. And again, I'm just reflecting what some fans are saying. The wisdom of playing England before Belgium.
Well, let me give you an example. I use boxing as an analogy a lot, right? It's like the fighter who says, I want to take on the champion. And then first round, the champion champion knocks you out. Just because you say it, right, it doesn't mean that it makes you any better. First of all, we've got to see the game.
Yeah,
let the game play out and then see what happens. If we come off 5-0 loss it's a mistake. If you come out with a 1-1 draw or a 1-0 win, it's a great sort of. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And don't think there's nothing on it because as it's a friendly because.
There's nothing on it for them though. There is a difference.
I agree.
England are serial qualifiers, right?
They
Been
are.
to finals now and semi-finals for years, quarter-finals for years. They're serial. They just chew groups up. We never in question whether they'll qualify.
No.
For me, it's not a danger, but at this point of the season, it's not just a game. It's more than that. Always means more to us, I think, than it does.
There are statisticians,
That's
football
easy for you to
statisticians.
say.
Absolutely, I did it right. Called We Global on X. It's a site that tries to predict using their methods or whatever what's going to happen. And they wrote, Wales playing England in a friendly is a horrible idea. A loss that could keep them out of League One and really lower their chances of reaching the World Cup. When they mean League One, Pot One, they mean the
qualifying group,
the playoffs.
Playoffs, yeah.
Which Wales are basically guaranteed to get to because of their Nations League performance. Yeah. And even Bellamy said, well, we're playing a side who are going to win a tournament. It's just a matter of time, as he says. Now, you have to play friendlies. Since the Nations League came in, you have to play friendlies. The only other friendlies that night, so in other words, the only other teams Wales could probably have played are Poland, who are playing New Zealand, and Romania playing Moldova. And one of the reasons why Craig Bellamy likes England is because he said, we can play on a Thursday, we've got the build-up then to the Monday, and it's only down the motorway. It's 3 hours down the motorway. It is a gamble, whoever you play, but friendlies do count in your sort of coefficients. So I suppose the proof of the pudding will be in the eating, won't it?
Yeah, you give me a question in a minute.
Well, no, I'm making an observation.
Yeah,
really.
is it a good idea now? Well, it's a great idea if we win 1-0.
Yeah. We'll leave it there.
Everything flips, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's the mind of a sportsman. Like I say, the boxer goes into that fight with the champion, not thinking I'm going to lose. He might get chinned in the first round. He might go 12 rounds. Yo, Adrian, I did it. Remember that? Old Rocky?
Yeah.
It can happen.
And it's probably what separates Craig Bellamy. Probably what attracted
I
the
don't think it
FAW
separates.
to Craig.
I don't think it does. I think most sportsmen have that mindset. Well, I can tell you, 99% of sports people, men, women that I've come across who are in the game or went to the Women's Euros with Ellen White and Katie Shield. When you're talking in football and competition and blah, 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 their mindset is,
they show no fear.
like Ellen White was generally like fearful of losing to Wales. And we were generally fearful of losing to England, right? But but we're both having the mindset then, but in order not to lose, we got to do this. So Craig is just going like, well, I don't care. Like, my motto is David beat Goliath, right? So there's nothing that's impossible.
No. I've always thought myself as a bit of a David
in
the land of Goliath for obvious reasons. If you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah. I always thought you were more of a sort of a Tom Thumb character. But hey.
All right, catch it out. Right, here we go. I'll set for David against Goliath. Anyway, you are hopefully enjoying Rob and Blakey's Commentary Box podcast. We are loud and clear on Welsh football, and we are coming to you from the University of South Wales Atrium campus in Cardiff. And please tell your friends that we're available on all social media outlets: Instagram, X, Blue Sky,
did I hear a vicious rumour that Noel Mooney might be coming on the show?
Well, he has expressed an interest in coming on the show.
Okay.
So it is something that I will develop with him.
Do you think we should have him on before or after?
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. And as I was saying, we're on YouTube and also on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And we're coming to you with the help and the valued support of the journalism and media courses at USW. We're recording this on Wednesday, which is the night after a very good night for Craig Bellamy, actually. Wrexham drew 1-1 at Leicester. Jordan James scored for Leicester.
Told you we should have signed him at Cardiff.
Yeah, well, he's at Leicester now. Before Nathan Broadhead, off the bench,
Great
equalised.
equaliser.
Swansea, of course. Liam Cullen
Left foot
netted a really smart goal, but actually the best goal of the night was Gonzalo Franco in the 2-1 win at Blackburn.
Although Damari Gray's one bad for Birmingham. I'm not sure if you've seen that.
No, I haven't seen that one. And the disappointment was Cardiff, but we'll come on to those in a moment. Wrexham, someone told me today it was a mature performance by Wrexham.
Second half, they were really good. They were really good. The first half, the second half, really, really good. And should have won it, really. Had a few chances. Thought O'Brien was really good. And the goal, Broadhead, comes off the bench. And I would say they were better with the introduction of the substitutes. But the cross, and the cross was okay, but he makes the goal. Broadhead. It's what we've been waiting for, right? Because we said a few weeks ago, he's gone a bit quiet. What's happened to Nath? Maybe it's the pressure of the transfer. That sometimes happens, Rob. You know, 8 million quid was it? So sometimes that pressure can come. But the ball in gets across his marker and really gets across him. Nowhere near favourite to win it. But then the finish, the technique in the finish, like spins it, like cuts across his body. Beautiful finish. Great result. And I thought Parkinson and the team looked like they could go on and looked like they were trying to push to win the game. Yeah. It was mean. And no, they look good.
And he made some decisions as well. No Connor Cody in there.
Yeah. Well, Connor, listen, everybody knows Connor, great lad, but he never had pace when he was at Wolves. That's what I say. If you're going to play him, you've got to play him as a sweeper and have two markers. Or one marker who says, right, I'm going to follow the striker everywhere. And then Connor, great voice, great organisation, can pass a lovely ball and what have you. But it's pace. And that's what I say, the Championship it's not the Premier League. But when people go, there's a massive gap because the 3 go up, 3 come down, often that happens. It's usually down to money. Because the 3 go up don't spend enough to keep them up. Remember when Forest went crazy and spent all that money, but it's done the right thing, right? It's kept them. You've got to have the squad to go and challenge in there.
Yeah, I was watching, I watched Cardiff and Swansea last night. There are ways of doing that.
Yeah.
And they added to the woes of your former club, Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah.
If you've not seen Gonzalo Franco, or should we call him Van Basten Franco now?
Yeah. I wouldn't call him. I wouldn't go that far.
It was a superb volley. It was a great cross from Timon.
Yeah.
And the
you
actual
technique of the volley. You do realise Van Basten's probably at least 10 yards out.
Don't be quibbling, please. I'm not having that.
No, I just said it was a great goal. It was a beautiful goal.
It was a terrific goal. And I'm really pleased for Liam Cullen. We've talked about Liam. Mm-hmm. He's had a difficult start of the season, but he and Adam Ida go on as substitutes. Wasn't Zamvipot next night. And Cullen scores, I thought, a really well-crafted goal. Cross him from the right-hand side, and he took it in his stride.
Yeah, I think it was before that, though, is the closing down, I think Alan Sheeran will be pleased with. And then you win the ball just inside your own half and the speed of the counter-attack. And how many players were getting forward in that counter-attack. And Ida didn't try to come back. Today's game, you're ahead of the defence sometimes. You come back and you slow it down. And he just went and he kept going and then picks a lovely ball across the box. And he just comes on and
switches. A manager feels really great when the two subs link.
Link like that. And the goal was a good goal because from a striker's point of view, if you look at the goalkeeper, he's going right.
Yeah. I heard Alan Sheehan afterwards say, we got the job done. It wasn't the best performance we've had. And again, I'm sort of watching the game at halftime. I'll look at social media, see what the fans are saying. And they're not happy with the first half performance. But again, they've managed to come out on top, and they're just outside playoffs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I thought the performance was the first half. I thought it was quite immature. Well, I think the second half they looked like a team that was maturing into something that could possibly challenge. It was the old adage, right? It was a game of two halves for me. But I still think they need a bit more to push into that playoffs, because this season seems to be. I'm looking at all the teams, Middlesbrough at the top. I'm looking at the next six, and then below. Honestly, if you said to me, who do you fancy in eighth, I'd say
There doesn't seem to be a standard.
Charlton look good, powerful, strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? West Brom look decent. Like, you just, it doesn't. And then you look at the bottom of the table, you've got Sheffield United way down there. It's like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of them this season. There's never been a better time to be in the Championship to make that top six. I think it's open.
Stay in there, stay in the hunt, and Wrexham are not too far behind.
I think what Wrexham would do, they better.
Yes, to justify your top six prediction.
I think there's a lot, and I've been guilty of myself with Cardiff, is like saying they're almost too good for the league at their best, but the season is long. I always say, like don't get carried away pre-Christmas. Get the February, March, and then you'll get a proper sort of insight of who's going to be in and
I think we
around
said
it.
last week Wrexham are growing into the season.
Yeah.
I think that'll work. In League One, Cardiff missed the chance to go top.
Yeah.
Second home defeat of the season. Talk about a Burton sucker punch. They defended really well.
Cardiff again, 75% possession.
77% possession.
Yeah.
20 shots on goal.
Yeah.
But without real conviction. But the big talking point, I've shown you the goal, or rather the effort. Yusuf Salak, I thought scored, and it's pulled up for a foul. When he got across the defender, tapped him from 6 yards.
They've given him the foul for how he got across the defender.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's 50-50.
Yeah.
And because and I've watched it, I've seen people try to manhandle him because the defenders do it.
Well, is he like Kiefer Moore in that he gets not only targeted by, this is what I think. I see opposition defenders go at Yusuf Salak, foul, but often the decision goes the other way because he's such a big, imposing figure. Referees think a little bit like Kiefer Moore at international level, because we've complained about this before. Hang on, that wasn't him. That was the defender doing it to him, or maybe him reacting, and he's the one who gets penalised. And I do feel in different levels, Salak and Moore are being treated the same.
Yeah, or penalised the same.
Yeah, penalised the same.
Yeah.
Is there anything in that, do you think?
Yeah, I would
Come
say.
on, boost me up.
Big you up, man. I would say, yeah, because he's such a physical specimen. You know, I've seen defenders try, Wigan, when he came out, they're trying to physically, and they just can't. He's thick as well.
He is.
He's not just big, he's thick, he's giant.
Yeah.
Right? He's a
You don't mean thick in...
thick, solid, big hands, big feet, big
like
thighs. Yeah, thick set. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And he's 6'5", I think.
Yeah.
You know, he's a brute of a dude. You know what I mean? He's a proper dude. I've seen defenders, I've seen it all season, when he comes on or when he starts, they try and have it with him.
Yeah.
Right? And there's, I know from experience, when a defender can't physically handle you, they don't stop trying. They keep
No,
they keep
do the
coming,
dark
right?
arts.
Yeah, well, they tried and do the dark arts, but then you got to give as good as you get, which he does, and he's then getting penalised because he's bigger than most defenders. So it looks like he's manhandling them, rather than the defender can handle the fact that I can manhandle you and should just know your place and sit behind. But the defender's never going to, they don't accept it. He's going to try and wrestle you and fight you. But the goal, for me, there wasn't even a foul in the build-up. It's the this defender trying to hustle the attacker. the attacker sort of gives you a little tug because you're actually got hold of him, gives you a little tug to get around you, and then finishes. For me, that's a perfectly good goal.
And to be fair, Brian Barry Murphy didn't blame the ref, said should have taken the chances, had enough chances to win it. And on referees, they say these things even themselves out. And it's quite interesting. You and I both thought Lewis O'Brien was lucky to stay on Saturday for a tackle in Wrexham's game.
That referee should be sat down for 3 games because he's 4 yards, 3 yards from it. And I actually heard, what's the guy who goes on Sky? Mike Riley, is it? The ex-referee?
Yeah.
I seen Quinton Morrison and him talking about it, and he actually said, and this one gets the goat of fans and players, he was too close to it.
Yeah.
Like, are you just trying to wind me up or what? He's too far away from it. All his players in his eye line. He's 4 yards from it and he sees it as it happens. He's too close to it. So, I would say to him, okay, tell me what it is. There must be some perfect distance that you're talking about for him to be.
He was very close to it.
You know what I mean? He's as close as I am to the camera.
Yeah.
Right? And it's horrific. It's a horrible challenge. Whether he meant it or not, the referee will know what's going on in the game or what have you, whether O'Brien was wound up and things like that. All these things you have to take into context. But for me, you're lucky to stay on the pitch, definitely, with that tackle. Because I always say, any fan going to go, oh, he's against Wrexham. Reverse it. The defender leaves one on Lewis O'Brien like that, right? You're going to say, that's a red card. Right.
So it brings into question the refereeing. They, as I keep saying, they do say it even themselves out. Zambi Potnik.
Yeah, but that's a danger. I don't mind that saying, but I still look and think, like, that's a leg breaker, mate. That's the kind of thing that can end careers. And I honestly don't think O'Brien meant to do him.
No.
But it is a terrible challenge.
I know how ironic that he scored a goal for Wrexham against Derby. But Zambi Potnik has fallen foul of the referee last Saturday. Last night at Blackburn, I thought Callum Burgess got away with one, which I thought was a penalty against Todd Cantwell, who'd already scored for Blackburn.
I think that was a penalty, see.
All right, well, fair enough.
I'll be honest with you, I was 50-50 on it.
Yeah.
Then. I could see it from both sides of the fence, put it that way. But Cantwell's reaction was hilarious.
Yeah, well, it was, yeah.
And then afterwards, he probably lost it.
He's thumping the turf, isn't he?
Well, not just that. Then later on, like a couple of minutes later, he has another pop because something happens and he loses his head, right? Because there's a foul against him, which he thinks isn't a foul. And he starts shoving players and all that. He was at the point where I was thinking to myself, like, get him off.
And likewise on Salek,
funny though.
You'd have to say, though Cardiff had themselves to blame for losing to Burton, they had enough shots on goal to win it. But you got to say Cardiff got away with one at Port Vale when they scored what they thought was a perfect goal, and it was ruled up for offside. Now, there's no VAR in the lower divisions. I'm not even going to go whether you want VAR in League One or Championship. No.
I never want VAR.
All right, then we will go there. You don't want it.
I just don't want VAR in football.
Fine.
I'll stick to that principle. I always have, and people say, "Oh yeah, but that wouldn't have been a goal, or that would have." I'm like, but that's football. Yeah,
I'd have it for offsides.
The perfect game made up of imperfections. That's what I say. That's football. That's why we love it. That's why we talk. What you're going to do is take away talking points. Hence why we're focusing on silly things like, he pushed him, or, we need to. I'm just out for VAR.
Okay. Not even. I would have it for. See, I think the VAR works on offsides. Because I don't think you can, if you're a centimetre offside, you're still offside as far as I'm concerned.
No, but I say where.
Well, no, that's different. But that's not VAR. That's
but
the interpretation of the
listen
rule.
what you're saying. Like, so if you're an inch offside, you're still offside. That's what you said, right? So what part of the body is that?
Well,
any
whatever
part of the body
they decide on.
Okay, so I would say I could be behind you, but I don't run upright. I run leaning forward to like any sprint. As you sprint, you go to lean forward.
Right.
My feet, I can't. My hand might be offside. I can't score with it.
Yeah, but if you're running a race and you duck to get to the finishing line, don't you? Your mate Christian Malcolm would also. In other words, you can't have it for football, and in other words, you wouldn't. Are you saying you wouldn't duck to win a 100 meters race?
I want to know what you're talking about, Willis.
Well, what I'm saying is that you can't say that. Because I run a certain way.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. It's not because I run a certain way. Everybody runs, and you're taught in football. You might have heard this. I don't know with the level of experience you got, but you're taught you're taught to bend your run.
I've been watching football longer than
Yeah,
you have.
well, you wouldn't believe it, but you're taught to bend your run, right? As a striker,
Yeah.
You don't run. What I'm saying is, if you bend your run or you go to start the run, you don't run up straight, do you? You lean forward. Your feet are probably half a yard behind you, which are onside, which is what you're going to be tending to score with.
Well, what
your head will be your head will be half a yard offside, which also you can score with.
Yeah.
But my hands I can't score with. So if my hand is here, and that's given offside, I'm like, well, there's too many connotations to it. Oh, my elbow was offside.
So that doesn't mean VAR is wrong to give offside, does it? In other words, what I think, I know what you're saying. On a penalty shout, it can be subjective, okay? But actually, and I'm not sure they even themselves out because I'm not sure they always do. But on an offside, I think you're either offside or you're not. However, the law is being interpreted.
It depends what you interpret, what part of the body is offside.
But that's not the fault of VAR as such, is it?
Well, the problem is VAR is just another layer of. You say what did you say? It was.
I've said plenty in the last half hour.
You,
Go on.
What did you say?
You're the one who said I'm getting old.
What did you say?
Well, it's subjective.
Or objective. One or the other.
No,
yeah, you said it's subjective. So
yeah, it is, yeah.
Right. But you can't get an objective decision off it, can you? Because it's opinion. So say like VAR and handball. So people, I think this is a problem with what footballers have. And footballers flip. I've heard them. But I try and just stay on one side and say, So
you get rid of VAR altogether?
I take it on the chin. If you lose some, you lose some. You win some, you win some. But you take it on the chin. But I don't think another layer can make the game objective. Whether that's if I blast the ball at you from 4 yards and it hits your hand, right? What they're saying is, well, 2 seasons ago that was a penalty. Last season it wasn't a penalty. This season, well, he was 5 yards away. Can he get it out? Was he trying to get it out of the way? Was it? Like it's just an opinion. It's not. You don't put it in VAR, and VAR makes a decision. It's still made by a human, isn't it? So it's just another layer.
It is, yeah.
And sorry to add to that, you got referees who are 4 yards away from red cards, and they're too close.
Yeah, quite. Yeah. And not even certain VAR would save Newport County at the moment.
Come on, man.
The way they are. Another defeat. I was there at Chesterfield.
Yeah, what was it like?
They had their moments, but they so lack experience. Getting back to 2-1 with 10 minutes to go, there was no old head on the pitch that said, right, let's hang in there now. We're back on 2-1. They're starting to not panic, but they rattled because they hadn't won in a few at home. They'd gone a few without winning. And then say to yourself, right, I think we're going to get one more chance. We just got to make it happen. But that lack of experience, no Liam Shepherd, no Matt Smith. And you said a few weeks ago, Andy Rinamoto would be a good signing for Newport. He's a free agent.
Is he still a free agent?
I believe so, yeah.
I haven't seen him anywhere.
I looked at where Joe Rawls is at the moment.
Okay, Rawlsy.
He trained with Aldershot in August. If Joe Rawls is still available, I think he would be perfect for Newport.
Oh, mate, bring those two in. Bring those two in, and I guarantee you stay up. As long as they can get 30 games out of them,
Yeah.
you stay up. I would say, right? That was the difference between Newport and Gillingham the other day. The
Yeah.
experience.
Absolutely. And it was the same with Chesterfield. And in the last few days, the Newport County Supporters Trust have sort of issued a statement, an update.
Oh, this is interesting because I haven't heard this.
Yeah. And they're basically saying it's time to stick together, that encourage all members and supporters to focus on the future rather than the past, continue to provide the fantastic support you always have, and which we need now as much as ever.
That's dwindling already.
Yeah. But they also say emotions will always run high at a time when things are not going well. And they say that the grievances, they don't use that word, but I'm just curtailing what they say, which range from the quality and experience of our current squad and management team to the motivations of the previous trust board during the process to sell the majority shareholding. In other words, they've identified that fans are saying there's a lack of experience. And I went on to X after that statement to see what they thought. I have been busy.
Yeah.
Chris on X says, same as Hugh Jenkins' statement the other week, provides no real update or solution to the mess the club is in on and off the field. 99% of fans, etc., are in agreement. It seems only Hugh Jenkins doesn't feel the same re the squad and a lack of experience. Kashmir Knits on X, great name, says, we're rudderless, Rob. Jenkins is sending us down with breeze blocks tied to our ankles. And Tinty and the Bucket Hats, the band. Mm-hmm. Club is losing its unity with its fan base over transparency and direction, it feels.
So would you say...
And he said, and they go on to say, since Josh Labadie, we've never found that midfield, I'm not going to say the word, but you can guess, bit like hard man, we've needed to create strength in the midfield. It seems we all see that.
We just named two.
Bar Hugh Jenkins.
Renamotor and Rouse.
Yeah.
So, so what are you asking me? If
Go get him, Floyd, then, is it?
Well, the supporters trust are saying what Hugh was saying, right?
Well, yeah, I think they're trying to calm nerves a bit and ask for a bit of unity, which I don't blame them for doing.
No, I 100% agree, but it doesn't help it doesn't change the situation then.
No,
does it?
No,
because supporters, regardless of what all the supporters trust say, they can see what's developing in front of them. It's not like Newport fans haven't been through the mill before.
No, they know what it's about.
They know what it's about. So you're not going to mug them off, right, by saying it's sunny when it's raining.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. And I know not a lot of the Newport fans, but I'm Cardiff born, Newport bred. I'm amongst a lot of them, right? And my friends, I'm connected to the club. So it was like whether people take it personal or not, I can't help that, right? But Hugh saying what he said, was it last week you said to me or the week before?
Yeah.
Like I said, it doesn't make it true. Just because you say it doesn't make it true.
No.
I mean, everyone is... The problem is glaringly obvious. Glaringly. But in the statement, it was like denied or overlooked.
Yeah.
So listen,
you can't gaslight fans, can you?
You can try,
but it doesn't.
But what'll happen is you'll end up like touch wood. It doesn't happen, but you'll end up going down.
This is the Rubin Blakey Commentary Box podcast, loud and clear on Welsh football. We are being recorded at the University of South Wales Atrium campus with the support of the journalism and media courses. Don't forget our other 9 episodes, including episode 2, are still available with Jess Fishlock, episode 6 with David Giles and Sean Cousins. If you want to get in touch, X or Instagram are probably the best platforms. Now, former Swansea City manager Graham Potter was the latest Premier League boss to...
Is it me or is it hot in here?
Lose his job.
I got my thermal t-shirt on. That's what.
Well,
it's winter, isn't it?
He's out in the cold, Graham Potter, at the moment. Got the sack from West Ham. And let's face it, there's some people who want David Hughes out of Newport. Want that. it was pretty savage. He was dismissed at 10:30 in the morning on Friday.
Who are we talking about now? Harry?
Potter, yeah.
Yeah.
And within 4 hours, Nuno Espirito Santos was in on a 3-year deal.
Yeah. And Nuno was sacked by Forest, and within one day,
Ange Postecoglou
walked in. Yeah.
So Gabby Logan on Match of the Day said something really interesting. It says, it feels like a whole culture of managers moving around these days. It's very different. You could leave somewhere quickly and it doesn't have to be a black mark on your CV. Equally, it's pretty savage when it happens. My own view is that, of course, clubs have to protect themselves. And it would not be right for whoever runs West Ham, Karen Brady, not to have an idea, or probably not to have lined up a manager before sacking Potter. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean,
You agree?
yeah, well, that's football, isn't it? Remember we had the ESAT talk a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
And we were saying, like you were saying, is it right? And is it I said, football is ruthless, mate.
Do boards react quicker now than when you used to play?
Society does. Society doesn't have a patient bone in its body, does it?
No.
Children don't. They're not.
So it's just reflective of
It's just
the
a
way
reflective
of life.
of way of life. Yeah.
'Cause it's
Owners,
really-
like I said, owners back in the day would own like car garages, car lots, and stuff like that. And they'd be owners or chairman of their club for 20 years, 30 years, and things like that, right? You look at like famous owners like Duggett, Deadly Duggett, Villa, and people like that. They even came with like sort of stage names. The owners today, they'll chuck a load of money in it and expect it to grow straight away. And I think if people could step back, especially owners, and take a look at what they're doing, there's examples of owners who've chucked multi-millions. I look at Mashira at Everton, £500 million. You know what I mean? And Everton didn't look no better than they
But
did.
I wonder whether it pays, though, because I'm looking at the top longest-serving managers. Who you may not know the longest-serving manager in the Premier League and Football League at the moment. I wouldn't expect you to know it. It's Simon Weaver at Harrogate Town,
Right.
whose dad has been the chairman all the way out. That helps,
helps,
doesn't it?
yeah.
But number 2 is Pep Guardiola. Simon Weaver's been in the job 16 years. Pep Guardiola second, 9 years.
Yeah.
Mikel Arteta third, 5 years. Nigel Clough fourth, for nearly 5 years, 4 years.
Mansfield, yeah.
Andy Woodman at Bromley, over 4 years. Marco Silva at Fulham, over 4 years. I think a manager who constantly punches above his weight.
Cardiff.
Who you suggested for Cardiff City many moons ago, a decade ago. Yeah, I'll give you that one. And do you know the next one on the list? Phil Parkinson.
Yeah, okay.
So he's in the top 10 longest serving managers now. He's been there 4 years, and when this is being recorded, 91 days. Actually, no, it's probably 92 days now.
Great maths.
Because I looked at this yesterday.
And,
But it says...
and add one on.
Yeah. It's either 91 or 92 days. I don't think Phil is going to quibble over the one day, is he?
Yeah.
So what does that tell us, do you think? The fact that Pep, Arteta, probably, well, they're not 1 and 2 at the moment, but Arteta is currently flying high. And Guardiola, his reputation goes before
I think
him.
what it shows you, and Klopp before, I think what it shows you is that things take time to develop in football.
Yeah.
You can chuck money at it, and sometimes you might be chucking money at it, and it might be totally wrong, half right, half wrong, 70% right, 30% wrong. But it takes time to develop a football club into a successful football club. Otherwise, there would really be no league. Everyone would be successful, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But they're not. There's only certain clubs which are, unbelievably successful. Why? because they make better decisions.
And with all
You don't get success without good decision making.
Yeah.
And I mean, we speak about Cardiff many a times, many a moon. We've had the discussion about how much money Vincent Tanner's put in, and I credit him for it. I don't diss him for that. What I diss him for is the fact that you didn't know where to put the money. So you're guessing at it. And then the arrogance of, because I got so much money, I can put more money. And then you get to a point where now this starts to hurt. And then I start to point the finger at people. And I say, well, it doesn't really work that way. You know, if you're the money man, what you do is do what they've done at Wrexham and get people in who can run your football club for you, right? And then if they're not successful, then you go around and you speak to certain people and find other people who you think can be successful. But you can have your cake and eat it too. So
let me ask you this. Let's round this off. I'm not sure I'd ever want to be a manager because, you know, Jurgen Klopp has done an interview this week saying he's only been to 2 weddings in his life because he had 25 years in football.
He wouldn't change those 25 years of football, though.
No, but
not
you
for nothing.
And everybody would say, well, you're doing the job that you love, and you are, and you get well compensated. Interesting, you know, Mourinho's gone to Benfica, probably loses money because managers, when they get sacked, they don't get paid up, do they? They keep being paid until they find another job, if that's what's left on their contract. So you never went into management. Is it a fool's game, do you think? No, despite the rewards, because you don't have a break. You can't go home like a player and relax without you're already thinking, right, I've got prep to do for a game in 4 days' time.
Isn't that life really, though? Whatever job you do.
So you got no sympathy then?
Sympathy for who?
For managers who get sacked.
No, it's just the way of the world.
Fair enough.
I believe like the decision makers who sack you, if they're sacking you frequently, they're not great decision makers, are they? Hence why you've got West Ham fans, what I heard on the way down here, organising the biggest demonstration ever seen in Premier League history.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're fed up. Because I always say, I think, take away the word football a minute, right? So Rob works in Asda. And he works all the hours God sends. Why does he work all the hours God sends? So he can take him and his son and his daughter and his wife, maybe. He can pay for their season tickets and go and watch and be entertained, because that's what we are, entertainers. And then he has an owner who he feels is just obliterating his club, and he's watching it happen. And he's on his side, he's working all the hours God sent to go to this and watch his club be obliterated. Imagine being a Sheffield Wednesday fan. Right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't stop you from going and paying your season. We've had it again at Cardiff. They still buy their season tickets, right?
Do. Yeah.
So I say you've got a responsibility, you've got a duty of care, a fiduciary duty to go and do the best for that. You're a stakeholder. You're not the owner. There'll be another one after you and another one after them and another one after. But in your period of time, you have to take responsibility, and it's your duty to try and progress this club forward, right? When Cardiff were in the Championship / Premier League, you and I had conversations, right? And I'm saying, right, go back to Plan A, and the idea is, you want to be in Europe. Anyone laughed? Well, look at Swansea. Swansea went and done it for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Didn't then build on that. Keep building. The reason why Jurgen Klopp has only been to 2 weddings and 4 cinemas is because you eat, sleep, and drink it to be successful. Not just you, but your coaching staff, your recruitment staff, your board, your chairman. So many of the board members, they play at it. That's my grievance. Because while you're playing at it and swashbuckling in money, the guy who's working down there in Greg's, or the woman who's working over there in the hairdressers or the nail salon, she's working day and night to buy the season ticket.
Yeah.
That you're just fluttering her money as far as she's concerned then. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do understand.
And it's the heart of your community often football is.
It is.
It's got to mean more to you as an owner and as a chairman. It's got to. It's as simple as that. And if it doesn't, then you've got a problem. That's why I say, if you ask me why I don't go into management, you know the reasons why I don't go into management. Because certain people couldn't handle being told by someone who's got 45 years experience in the game that they know better, and you just accept that. And then if it goes wrong on my watch, I'll take responsibility.
Yeah.
I'll be accountable. Not move the goalpost and say, oh, well, it was like, there's too many, Neos from Matrix.
Waiting outside.
There's not so many Matrix characters. Like, oh, no, I dodged those bullets. That wasn't me. It wasn't my fault, Jack. It was, point the finger. And then all of a sudden, all the responsibility goes on to the manager.
So let's wrap up then while you're still here.
Yeah.
Because, we may have a board meeting later. And I've got someone lined up to come in.
To take my spot.
Yeah. Oh, it's brutal, isn't it?
It's a brutal game, isn't it? Yeah.
We're giving you time. 10 episodes, I think, is a good run. Merthyr.
I wonder why I see cabs outside.
Merthyr at Chester this weekend in the National League North after their second consecutive home defeat. I was against Hampton and Richmond in the FA Cup. I was with Owen Money on Sunday at the Elvis Festival, and he didn't think they didn't play badly. The Elvis Festival in Porthcawl. We could do a whole podcast about it.
We should do a podcast about it. Did you dress up?
No, but there are plenty of Elvises around. In fact, I was washing my hands in the toilet and I saw a guy, and I'm sure he was the real Elvis.
Okay.
But actually, he wasn't, because there were loads of them around.
I know an Elvis from back in the day. From Newport. I've always come back.
Big shout out to Ponty Presley, who I thought was the best Elvis. He's from Pontypridd. He's well known. He does a brilliant act. And I had a great afternoon. But
What's his act?
No, he just, he's got the whole gear on. So apparently those Elvis
what's he do, Elvis?
Well, yeah. I mean, you just go to venue and you hear Good Luck Charm or Return to Sender, or we had a lot of That's the Wonder of You on
Jailhouse Rock.
Yeah, all that.
Okay.
Yeah, brilliant. There was even a woman Elvis. I was not convinced, but apparently I saw a woman Elvis.
Hey.
Female Elvis.
It's 2025.
Yeah, there we go. So I don't know what distracted me there.
I don't know where we got the Elvis.
Anyway,
I was like, we digress.
Back to, we do cover all of Welsh football and a bit of Elvis Presley too on this podcast. In the Cymru Prem, Llanelli. Talk about managers being under pressure. Started with 6 league defeats on the trot.
Oh, flying.
But have now won their last 2, following a 1-0 win over Britain Ferry. Followed the 1-0 win over Britain Ferry with a win over Haverfordwest. No, they beat Britain Ferry 2-1, sorry. Beat Haverfordwest 1-0. Danny Williams scored again. Haverfordwest now prop up the table, which I think is a bit of a surprise. Biggest shock of the week, Cardiff Met, winning 3-0 against Carnarvon. The Covey Army Club now 3rd behind TNS and Penabont, who are a point behind the Saints. 10 League and Cup games now without defeat for the new Saints. You're not surprised, are you? No.
I mean, let's be fair.
Yeah, in the Adran League...
Unfortunately, it's a one-team league. People might not, but I always say, in order to progress, unless you're truthful, you're not going to progress, right? And for me, they've been the team for the last decade, and I say it's for the rest of you to catch them.
Absolutely, yeah. In the Adran Leagues, Cardiff City beat Swansea City in the derby 3-0.
Of course they did.
Barry Town claimed their first win of the season. They beat Aberystwyth 3-2. Wrexham had a 6-1 win over Ponty Presley.
They're flying, by the way, them.
Yeah.
They're good. I haven't seen them play, but I wouldn't mind because they seem to have just blown up all of a sudden.
Britain Ferry, Llanelli made it back-to-back wins, triumphing 3-1 over the New Saints. And one other thing to mention, Goliath United, Cardiff-based team in the FA women's system. They're 4th in the National League South. They play, get this, Real Bedford next Sunday. So we'll look out for that one as well. So thank you, Nath.
Thank you. Thanks for coming, Rob.
Well, and thank you.
You're saying it like, you're getting transferred out.
There may be a board meeting later. Hope you've enjoyed the Rob and Blakey commentary podcast. Please tell your friends. all about it. And you can follow us on X, on Threads, on Instagram, all the social medias, or wherever you get your podcasts, YouTube, and including Spotify. And we will be here with episode 11 next week.
Peace out.